Remote video podcast production can often be an exercise in compromise. In a perfect world, all hosts and guests would be in the same physical location. A professional set with professional lighting, sound treatment, identical microphones, multiple cameras, and a dedicated production staff. That's out of reach for most of us, but it doesn't necessarily mean we need to sacrifice production quality. I have been producing weekly podcasts at a professional level since 2017, and production quality is a personal point of pride. Here's a secret: it doesn't take much. I love the accessibility of podcasting. It's honestly really great that there's basically no barrier to entry and anyone can have their own show. I have found great satisfaction in producing shows that feel professional but are done at a DIY level. I want to share my enthusiasm for podcasting with you here and encourage people to get creative with what's possible. I'm going to be talking a lot about video here because it's 2025 and it's what's personally exciting to me lately. But I should stress here that podcasting is an audio-first medium, and your number one priority for producing a show should be that it sounds good. Audio quality over everything. Make production decisions accordingly. A lav mic might be less visually intrusive than something like this, but it's going to pick up more room noise. We might be used to listening to Zoom calls with our laptop's built-in speakers, but make hosts and guests wear headphones anyway. Don't rely on a video conferencing app to cancel echo. And a note about Zoom calls: we're probably used to subpar sound quality in remote meetings, but a podcast that uses a Zoom recording from a webcam mic, or worse, the built-in mic on a laptop, is really fatiguing to listen to. A little bit of effort to make things sound good goes such a long way. Just care a little bit about how it sounds. Your listeners will thank you. So here's a quick and dirty guide for quality remote podcast production. Everyone on the podcast needs to be wearing headphones. Get a proper microphone and use it correctly. I highly recommend the Shure SM58. I highly do not recommend the Blue Yeti USB mic. You will probably need an audio interface to record with quality mics with your computer. I really like mine. It's the PreSonus Studio 24C, but there are plenty of good options. Using the mic correctly basically just means put a pop filter on it and keep it close to your mouth. That's it. But I mean it. Keep it close to your mouth. This is surprisingly difficult for many people. I'm not using a pop filter right now on this mic because I plan on doing some post-processing plosive reduction, and I just want the look of the naked mic, but use a pop filter. Even like a sock will be fine. Everyone should record locally. As the producer, you should always record backups on your end as well, and I'll get into that later. To record audio, Audacity is a free option, and to record video, OBS is a free option. Coordinate settings for everyone on the call. Here's a starting point for Audacity and OBS. Feel free to adjust as needed. In Audacity, record in mono at 44.1 kilohertz and export as an MP3 when you're done. In OBS, record at 1080 or 720p depending on your webcam. Your frame rate is a creative decision. I choose to record at 29.97 frames per second for my shows because it feels a little bit more like a broadcast than a film at 24 frames per second that I would use for other video work. But this is your call. Record an MP4 with a constant bit rate at about 2500 kilobits per second. That should be good to go. It's good to record in both Audacity and OBS for redundancy, at least to start out your show and getting your settings straight, and the producer should always record the call for backup. I use Loopback and Adobe Audition, but I could use Audio Hijack. The Craig bot in Discord is slick, and this will be a producer backup for the audio only. A screen recording of the video call could suffice for a video backup. Now you get on a call together. Use whatever video conferencing tool you want, like Google Meet, Zoom, Discord, Signal, whatever. I've been using Discord lately because it seems like you get the best call quality there. Everybody hits record on their ends, and then you sync the recordings. And now here's a quick little tip for how to sync recordings. Everybody goes to time.gov on their computer and look at any clock on screen except for your device clock. Clap at, for example, 10 seconds after the minute if you're working with different time zones. That way you have a synchronized moment in all of your recordings where something is happening at exactly the same time that you can line up the rest of your call very easily. I recommend setting aside some time for a dedicated tech check with each member of the podcast. It's a terrible feeling to be scrambling and trying to figure out an audio issue at the time of recording. You are going to have to do some of that. It's just unavoidable and comes with the territory as a producer, but try to save yourself the pain where you can. Speaking of saving yourself some pain, do what you can for everyone to have a fast and stable internet connection. This is easier said than done, but try your best. Do your show, stop the recordings, and have everyone upload their files to a shared folder like on Google Drive or Dropbox. All right, let's talk about podcasting services. I've used Zoom, Riverside, and Squadcast. I've had problems with each of them, critical problems. I've lost recordings with each service. These are the kind of things that work until they don't. These platforms can be slick and user-friendly, but if anything goes wrong or you want to troubleshoot anything, you're totally out of luck. Riverside is the worst offender, in my opinion. They position themselves as a professional solution, but they seem way more interested in stuffing their software full of AI editing tools that just get in the way of what I'm trying to do. Invest a bit of your time doing this manually with Audacity, OBS, or similar. If something goes wrong, you can get under the hood and you'll have the most control over your recordings. Editing time. I edit all my podcasts in DaVinci Resolve, video and audio only shows. This is a free program. Here are some post-processing tips. I'm going to use Audition to demonstrate. I apply a mild EQ, a noise gate, and a compressor. This is a possibly controversial opinion here, but you can be reasonably aggressive with your compressor because this is a broadcast, not like movie dialogue. Then I normalize all my recordings to -3 decibels. You can pick another target. Podcasting platforms will normalize everything again upon upload. I sync the video and audio for all speakers in Resolve, and I edit away. I edit manually, but the shows I host are all live to tape. That's just the format I prefer. So there isn't much to be done for a content edit anyway. I have a Fusion macro I developed for a 2, 3, and 4 person layout that makes the wide shot look great. I can do a walkthrough. If you're interested, let me know. Publishing. I've used several different podcast publishers over the years, like Podbean, Buzzsprout, Co-Host, and even Blogspot back in the day. I switched to Anchor FM literally one day before it turned into Spotify for creators, and I've just kept using it ever since, and it seems to work fine. I've been optimizing for YouTube lately because discoverability is an age-old problem for podcasts, and YouTube has better than nothing discovery features. I think they want to be pushing podcasting more, and hey, if YouTube will push my show, I'll take it. And this brings us to marketing and growth strategies. Here's the thing. If you're getting into podcasting for fame and fortune, I would urge you to find something else to do with your time. The number one trick to hosting a successful podcast is to already be famous. Podcasting is so much more than just celebs patting each other on the back. It can also be an effective method of spreading dangerous misinformation and accelerating antisocial sentiment in a political climate where we crucially really shouldn't be doing that. You can also talk about movies. So it's really a cool range of things. I make podcasts because I love it. I honestly don't really do any marketing for my shows, and our numbers reflect that. I promised myself that I would quit it if it ever stopped being fun, and so far, more than 8 years into this, it's still fun. So this is less a section about how to grow a show and more an encouragement to chase what's interesting to you. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching.